There's not really a classification of music to fight people by, an anthem of violence, but that'll serve the purpose well enough. Pit has been after me since I opened Ole's third heart, but now I'm going to bring the fight to him. It is not his lucky day, since I could not be more prepared. He's just as wily as Aya. I am pretty sure that's a glitch by now, slipping past someone if you're travelling too quick. A good thing to note if you're stuck on a dead end.
Young one, I saw her. She's almost free. She's beaming with color. Could it be that's your doing? If so, then you're a heretic, and one who has no respect for life doesn't deserve to live.
Each of the brothers says something different there, but it'll have to go unrecorded. I have no desire to needlessly drag anything out. It's worth pointing out again that Mongolfia doesn't have a sister, so you can't prompt him to attack you before you're supposed to. There is absolutely nothing I can do here to improve myself, so let's get to it.
Amber, rapture of wilderness, chaos of maelstroms, bone-breaking laughter, rider of the vortex's edge, open to the heart of thy lowly servant. To the righteous will of the seeker of thine guidance, heed. Meet blood with blood, taboo breaker. Bind. Crushing flesh, twisting mind, constrict. Feed your thirst. Bury him under heel. Kill. Violet, vibrant, chameleon of colors, mysterious tale, lair of the arcane. Come to my call, aid in my vengeance. Battling a hideous, wicked, unfamiliar foe, help me. By lies and deceit, the one who challenges my righteousness shall die. The one who watched me in hope of exposing my weakness be blind. His color shall fail, his hammer shall fall, his voice shall quiver.
Wow, that was a brilliant mix of voice acting and sound effect. All the little drills that fly around are amazingly easy to dodge for the most part, but occasionally you'll just start being bombarded repeatedly. I showed off how ineffective the magnet glyph is on the drill bits, so now I'm showing off how invaluable the repulse glyph is in this fight. Okay, so sometimes it can backfire. For the most part, if you're standing relatively close to it, it will protect you from anything. You can stand right next to Pit and he won't be able to hit you, even when it seems like you should be able to fire them directly at you. Once again, this more advanced glyph deals more damage and he's completely stationary, so it's always your best bet. If you put 20 droplets into the repulse glyph, it will survive for about one round. There's nothing stopping you from having it up all the time. If you're having trouble drawing those glyphs, again you can just use Tumbleweed or Owls and they will home in perfectly fine. All of the brothers can be damaged by hitting any part of their body aside from Mantid spears, so he'll take just as much damage if he hits him in the drill. For some reason the colour cloud doesn't horribly glitch out when I fire that sleeper glyph. I don't know what to tell you. Pit, to my knowledge, and bear in mind I have been wrong about this before, doesn't have much variation in his attacks when you take off his outer wheels. Perhaps the drills become more abundant and more damaging, but it's never made much difference to me. That was a demonstration, honest, of what this fight can devolve into if you don't keep up your defences. Here's a glyph I haven't had much use for. It creates a protective ring that doesn't actually protect you from anything. Oh, what a mess. So that S glyph also damages the enemy, but as you can see, it's done virtually nothing, though I have seen it in effect. If it worked how I expected it to when I got it, it would be the perfect glyph for this fight. You can also see that if I didn't have the ridiculous levels of emerald and just general colour in my body as I have, I could be in serious trouble now. There's not much left to see, so I'm going to end it as quick as I can. Note that I'm standing pretty much directly in front of one of his cannons and somehow not getting hit. I do this not out of self-defense, or even because I think you deserve to die. It's genuinely just because you're there. All this colour jumping into me from below the ground is a bit off-putting. It would be nice to have a room where I could see all the corpses, all at once, if only each instance of these chambers existed in the same space. I just thought a random morbid thought was an appropriate inclusion. It's Tyrant. He's a quiet one. During roll call he stated that we should die straight away, and he hasn't said anything else aside from that. In fact, we'd only get one more thing out of him, and that's only if we open the third heart in Echo, I believe. Although it could be Aya, one of the Travelling Sisters. He just keeps to himself is all. I don't think I've ever seen him go for a sister during the witch hunt. More of an ambivalent giant than a gentle one, though. This isn't right. Yeah, don't mind me. I was just leaving. Right then. I would deduce that Tyrant is just admiring the trees in his own little world, rather than trying to suck the chamber dry.
You're listening to gold.
We've heard that already, of course, so all I can do is follow him around and wait until he starts feeding to spring up on him.
Azure. 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 Azure.
It looks like the Void was dead set on giving us all the Azure it could, right from the beginning. There's one thing that I didn't mention, and I can't show it off now. If you go to one of the brothers' chambers and enter it, then they'll be there regardless of where they are in the Void, so you can fight them at your own convenience in that way. Tyrant doesn't have a chamber, so I can't do this. Now, of course, the game ends on cycle 36, which is coming up very rapidly. So Tyrant better get himself to this garden pretty quickly. I've never had this problem before, but it looks like we're going to make it. Just about.
You shall not enter here.
It speaks, and I've got no more to add. That Tyrant has excellent character design goes without saying, but all I know from his words and actions is that we probably caught him completely off guard, and he'll enjoy this just as much as we will with our new violent streak.